All right, I gotta be honest with you. I did not expect to be this impressed, but this right here is pretty amazing. From recovery to detox to just pure relaxation, this is changing the game. What's up, friends? Adam Corson here, and today I'm sharing my honest experience with the One Love Health Far Infrared Sauna Dome. We're taking a deep dive in. We'll talk about what's impressed me, things to look out for, and we'll even test their claim to see if this truly is the safest sauna dome on the market. Let's get right into it. This sauna dome is a full body far infrared sauna. It's made up of two dome sections that slide over your body while you lay down on a comfortable mat that's lined with various therapeutic stones, plugs into a standard outlet, so no fancy electrical work required, and it heats up really quickly. Plus, as a bonus, it gets a lot hotter compared to most infrared saunas, topping out at 194 degrees. What really makes it stand out though is the low EMF design and the 3-zone temperature control, allowing you to customize the heat for your upper, middle, and lower body, giving you targeted control. It's designed for deep detox, improved circulation, muscle recovery, relaxation. It's basically everything you would want from a spa, but right here at home. When it comes to setup and first impressions, personally, I'm a sucker for a nicely packaged, well-branded product, and this checked both of those boxes immediately. You can tell that a lot of thought went into the way that it was packaged and just the overall aesthetics of the sauna. Setup was really easy. It comes in two lightweight dome pieces, the mat, the control unit, and the wiring. All the wires are labeled, making this truly plug and play, and it doesn't require any tools to set up. It was ready to use in just under 10 minutes. When it comes to dimensions, it's 32 by 18 by 72 and fits users up to 6'6". When you're done, you can easily tuck this away because it's not bulky or permanent like traditional saunas, but it still performs like a full-size sauna, which is really cool. I'm really impressed with the way that this sauna is built. There's a list on their website of all the safety certifications, and all the materials that were used are high quality, non-toxic, which allows you to use this with confidence. If we take a look at the cables, they're shielded all the way down to the feet, which is pretty rare, and the connection points are super solid. They use a locking mechanism which holds the connections in place, so you don't have to worry about accidentally pulling out a connection or a pet hitting it or anything like that while you're using it. Now, they claim that this is the safest sauna dome on the market and that they're extremely low EMF levels, so I bought this EMF reader right here and we're going to test that in real time. I did want to quickly mention that if you want to take a deeper look at this sauna or potentially even buy one for yourself, I'll post a link in the description below. This will get you a discount. This will help support the channel, so it's a win-win for everybody. Let's get back to it. So we got the unit turned on now, and now we're going to go ahead and start looking at those EMF readings. So right now we are zeroed out. I'm going to go ahead and push this towards the back of the sauna here. Yeah, we're still at 0 in here. As I put it up here around these lights, I mean, we're still at 0. We're not picking anything at all up. This is really cool to see. As we pull this dome, let's go ahead and pull the second dome over to make sure we get the same readings out of this one. Again, we're getting nothing at all. We are completely zeroed out inside of this dome. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, when we get over to the control box, this will prove that this reader is actually working because we will see some EMF come off this control box. That is normal on anything that's plugged in like this. Around the connection points, we should start to see this spike up. Yeah, there we go. So, just as I thought there, right when we get to those connection points, it starts to spike up. But if we get, I mean, even 6 inches away from that box, we're completely zeroed out again. Same thing with these control points here. We are picking up some EMF. But if we go back inside and we actually go to where those control points are, this thing is so insulated and so protected in here that we're not picking up anything. So that's really cool. Now let's talk about what it's actually like when using this sauna. The control box is very user-friendly. There's 3 zones. You're able to set the heat all the way up to 194 degrees, and the timer can run for 60 minutes. A few things to realize is that far infrared is slower to heat up the actual air, so the air temperature won't necessarily be 194 degrees, but you'll definitely feel that full intensity at max heat. You do also need to account for heat up time, So heat up can be anywhere from 10 to 40 minutes depending on the temperature of the room that you're in. So you kind of want to add that into your timer. If you want to be in for a 20-minute session, you may want to set the initial timer for 35 minutes to account for 15 minutes of heating up. But if you forget to do that, it's not that big of a deal. You can adjust the timer at any time. So if I were to set this for 40 minutes, my heat up took 10 minutes and I want to be in for 20 minutes, I can adjust that timer down to 20 minutes, get in, and then do my session. Now, if you're someone who's new to sauna usage, I would recommend starting somewhere around the 150 to 170 degree mark and then increasing based off of feel, because this thing does get super hot. I typically set mine around 180 and aim to stay in for 20 to 30 minutes. The infrared heat feels different from a traditional sauna. It's a deeper detox, so think about heating yourself up from the inside out. I have to be honest, I was a little bit concerned about having my head out and how that would impact the overall experience, but after a few sessions, I actually grew to appreciate that. I still get extremely sweaty, and it's really nice to breathe fresh air and not have your head and face get super hot. For those who are claustrophobic, this is a big plus too. To retain the most heat, they provide you with this curtain here that snaps right into the dome. However, you can easily drape a towel over the top if you prefer to do that and not mess with the snaps. This is a Luxor Pro model, so the mat is lined with various sauna stones, which really give off a spa-like vibe, and personally, I love that. Lastly, something that's unique to the dome structure is the fact that you can fully lay down and extend, which is tough to do in most saunas due to size restrictions, but this is really the best way to relax, kind of increase circulation, and just get the best overall experience. Sometimes on cold mornings, I'll get in here with the heat on the lower side and just kind of have that slow wake up. You don't necessarily have to get super sweaty if you put the heat down low, and it's just a really peaceful and relaxing way to start your day. Time to get into the pros and cons. For the pros, it's portable, it's easy to store, the overall quality is very impressive, it heats up fast and has multi-zone settings so you can do targeted therapy. There's very low EMF, making it a safe infrared design, living up to the company's claims. And lastly, it's super relaxing and it does everything that you would expect from an infrared sauna, and the ability to fully lay down and stretch out is something that you're really not able to do in most other options. And now for the cons. You do have to stay on top of cleaning and wiping it down after each session. However, if you lay down a towel, there's very little to almost no cleanup. It does take up some floor space while in use, but it is portable, so you don't need a permanent spot for it. It is rated for people up to 6'6", so if you're taller than that, you might need to explore other options. And lastly, the lights do get hot, so just watch out for your arms, your knees, elbows, things like that when you're getting in and out of the dome. Overall, I feel like the cons are pretty much a non-factor when you weigh them up against the pros, but they are just a few things to consider. So time for the verdict. Does the One Love Health Sauna Dome deliver on its promises? I'd say it absolutely does. If you're someone who values recovery, detox, or even just relaxation, this is a really great product to consider. It gives you all the benefits of an infrared sauna without the installation, space, or the price tag of a traditional setup. I'm truly impressed by this sauna, and I'll definitely use this for years to come. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions at all or anything that I may have missed in this review, feel free to drop it in the comments below. And as always, if you aren't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button so you can continue to follow along. Thanks again. See you next time.